If you feel like everyone needs something from you, your parents, your
kids, your
kids,
spouse, your job, and somehow you are last at the bottom of that list, you're not failing. You've just entered a season of life no one prepared you for. You've now entered the sandwich generation. I was trying to do the Twilight Zone there. Not really sure it worked. Oh well. I'm not Rod Serling, but I am Scott Mullet. Oh, and thank you. Thank you, especially. That's very nice. Thank you. Welcome to the Wise Lane, where we focus on money, mindset, and modern living for the 50 and over crowd. Of course, you younger folks are always welcome here and are encouraged to stroll along the Wise Lane with us. Yeah. Now, in the next two episodes, I'm going to focus on the sandwich generation. Now, this isn't a generation in the way of Gen X or Gen Z or any aptly named cool sounding single generation. It also isn't a generation that refers to big fans of Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's and Firehouse or even Subway. No, sandwich generation is much more fluid. It refers to those in a family generational lineup who, at this particular time, are still raising their own children and now also have the responsibility for taking care of their aging parents. Sandwich. Now, for me, this hit home personally when, shortly after my dad passed away, my sweet, sweet mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, which, as you all know, is a very, very, very cruel disease. And at that time, we had a child in high school and two in college. So I'm still raising three children, my wife and I, and now I'm caring for an aging parent. Sandwich. I want to point out that the sandwich generation, it cuts across all cultures, and each culture may handle it certainly in a different way. But here's a simplified way to think about being in the sandwich generation. In your 20s, life is about building, right? You're building a career and maybe a family and lifelong friendships, building. In your 30s, you want to get a visual aid, it's about juggling. So here we go. Yes, you are juggling, holy cow, kids, a spouse. You're juggling a mortgage, a career, and all that stuff. Juggle. It's a lot. But in your 50s and 60s, life becomes compression and very heavy. Everything that used to happen just one chapter at a time is now all happening at once. You got aging parents. You got children who still need support. Your career might be at its peak, or maybe you're in a major transition if you're nearing retirement. And of course, you have this aging body here that very impolitely reminds us all the time that it needs attention too. So here's a quiet truth. This isn't just busy. This is emotional weight from every direction. Your parents need help, but they don't want to lose their independence. Your children want freedom, but still need that safety net. And you, well, you're expected to hold it all together calmly. This pressure isn't imaginary, it's structural. So think of these three factors. On average, people now are living longer. So you may have an even more extended period of time taking care of those aging parents. Also, kids nowadays, they launch later. As we discussed in episode 10 of The Wise Lane, the child bounce back, more kids, adult kids, are living at home now than at any time in the US since the Great Depression. It's almost 100 years. If you want more about that, check out episode 10 of The Wise Lane. Also, there's healthcare administration, which has got more and more complicated and costly. That doesn't make anything easier for you because for your aging parents, healthcare becomes a really important part of the mix and your time. And you know what? Nobody handed us a playbook. Oh, here. Nobody handed us a playbook to deal with any of these factors. And this season is especially hard because no matter what you do, someone feels disappointed. At least you think they do. So beware this guilt triangle. You help your parents, you feel guilty about your kids. You help your kids, you feel guilty about your parents. You take some time for yourself, and you feel guilty about everyone. Hence the guilt triangle. Now, keep in mind, guilt doesn't always mean you're doing something wrong. In this case, it might be more indicative of just doing something too difficult because it's hard. This season becomes unbearable when you believe one lie, that this is how life will be for you from now on, because it's not. This is a temporary compression. It's a phase. This is not your permanent identity. Your job is not to do everything like this forever. Your job is to stabilize the moment. Whoa, without sacrificing yourself. Whoa. So think seasons, not lifelong sentences without parole. Prison. So here's the rule that changes everything. You are not required to meet unspoken expectations too. If the expectations during this season aren't discussed, clarified, or limited, they become silent resentments. Wise adults replace vague sacrifice with clear agreements. And that's not selfish. That's sustainable. If you're in this season, please hear me clearly. You are not weak. You are not behind, and you are not failing. You are carrying a load that no one should be expected to handle for long, extended periods of time. And wisdom isn't about doing more, it's about knowing what actually matters now. As a sandwich generation resident myself currently, I wish there was an easy solution or answer. But if you love those for whom you are caring, I'm sorry to say there's not an easy answer. But just know that you are not alone. And know that this is a season of life. It will not last forever, or it should not last forever. On the next show, Wisely, in episode 14, we're going to talk more about the sandwich generation, but we are going to focus specifically on how to help protect yourself from burnout during this season. So please check it out when it's available. If you found this video interesting, helpful, or anything but annoying, please give it a like. And it'd be great if you'd leave a comment about your experiences during this season of life, if you have the time, because if you are in this season, it's very busy. Also, please hit that subscribe button. We need all those likes and subscribes to not only sustain the Wise Lane, but also to grow it. Now, you have been visiting the Wise Lane, where we focus on money, mindset, and modern living for the 50 and over crowd. I am Scott Mullet. Thanks for watching. Juggle, 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 juggle. 1, 2, 3, finish, yeah! See you next time.